Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bull City Hangout 829. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham 𝗕𝗟𝗟. That's Durham, North Carolina's online community paper. I invite you to check it out at durhamskywriter.com. Now, what we're going to do is to just go through the Durham 𝗕𝗟𝗟. I'm just going to read just a few items from various pages. And I do invite you to especially check out the word page of the Durham 𝗕𝗟𝗟 because that tells you of different ways that you can get help, different places where you can get help, and just check it out for yourself. Okay, so we're going to start out with the garden shed page today. And one thing I wanted to point out, Durham Parks and Recreation, I love how they are approaching this COVID-19 thing. They've shut everything down and reopened slowly, step by step, with caution. You haven't heard of any outbreaks, so hats off to Durham Parks and Recreation. Now, they did announce that there is a new program for young kids. It's called All About a Garden. It starts out next Wednesday. So this is going to be a series. Again, it's called All About a Garden. It's for young people ages 5 to 12, boys and girls. And it's an outdoor project, so they're not going to be really close. They will be wearing masks, and they will be practicing social distancing. This is going to be outdoors at the Edison Johnson Recreation Center. They will be learning how to plant flowers, how to garden, just, basic skills, and it should be fun. And the fee is only $6 per child. They do ask that the child wears closed-toe shoes, and I think they need a water bottle. And you know your kid better than anybody else. If your child needs a hat or sunglasses, of course, you're expected to provide that. So sign up. All the information that you need can be found on the garden shed page for Durham 𝗕𝗟𝗟. All right, now let's go to the sports page. Again, we'll be talking about Durham Parks and Recreation. Let's go to Sport and Life. Okay, there's something called the DPR All-Star Competition. And this is for young people. Let's see, this is going to be September 8th. That's on a Tuesday. Young people, teens, ages 13 to 18. Now, it's not going to be like a real basketball game or tournament. Basically, they want to keep everyone safe, and they will be practicing social distancing. So instead of a game, they're going to have like a skills competition. I'm guessing, free throws and the three-point shots and the dribbling. That's what I'm guessing. So anyway, individual skill contest, those who have the most points, whoever has the most points will win. And that should be really, really fun. It's free, and there's only a few spots. Again, they want to keep everybody safe, so only a few spots are open. So jump on that if you have a teen, especially if they're suffering cabin fever. You know they are. Again, ages 13 to 18. All righty. I think there's something else on the sports page. Check out the sports page for upcoming classes, like tennis, etc., etc. I'm just going to ask you to check that out. Now, as far as Lake Mickey and Little River, again, they're playing it safe. They have a lottery system in place. So if you want to, for example, go to Lake Mickey where you can have non-motorized only boat launches, fishing on the bank, or with Little River, fishing only. So you enter the lottery. So this is like the day before. So you can only enter the lottery today if you want to go to Lake Mickey or Little River tomorrow. Now, let me tell you what the hours are for Lake Mickey and Little River. Friday through Monday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the lottery for today will be at 6 p.m. If you do win a lottery pick, then you will be texted, with the congratulations, etc., and the instructions. Again, for Lake Mickey and Little River for enjoying the outdoors tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget the tours. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Even though it is rainy today, we're supposed to have thunderstorms. I'm going to tell you about this anyway in case the rain, ends this afternoon. So there's going to be a historic tour of West Point on the Eno Park. That's going to be today And tomorrow is supposed to be sunny. So I'll tell you about this for tomorrow as well. From 2 until 3, you get to see the mill, the Macau Mangum House, the Hugh Mangum Museum of Photography, learn about the people who lived, worked, and played in the area. And again, the group size will be limited, and they will be practicing social distancing. Also, today, you can take a historic tour of Lee Farm Park. And you can learn about it was a middle class plantation. You can learn about the farm owners, the enslaved people who lived there, and also see the Leigh. I have to find out if it's Lee or Leigh, but Leigh. Let me know. The Lee Family Cemetery. Again, group size will be limited, social distancing, etc., etc. So that will be today from 2 until 3 if it's not raining. Okay, let's go to the Let's Go page. That is the calendar of events page. And it's only supposed to be cloudy, but let's see. It's actually raining right now, just a little bit. Actually, it's just drizzling here on Cap Street. So let me just tell you, the Durham Farmers Market from 8 until noon, okay, in Durham Central Park. The Durham Craft Market, also in Durham Central Park from 8 until noon. They're across the street, if I'm not mistaken. The South Durham Farmers Market, also 8 until noon on Saturdays. They are at the Greenwood Commons Shopping Center, south on Highway 55. And then let me skip ahead here. Now, if you are in need, you got to know this. The Nehemiah Christian Center, they're right there on Mangum Street, downtown, just a couple of blocks north of downtown. Right now, it just started, and that is today only from 10 until noon. The big give back grocery giveaway. So if you are in need, head out to Nehemiah Christian Center. They're asking that if you are on foot or on the bus, that you bring, if you have one, a folding shopping cart, which means you will be getting a lot of groceries. So they want to help. Head there. It's only until noon. It's going on right now at the Nehemiah Christian Center. Okay, also today, even if you're not in need, if you want to register to vote, they have something called Fuel the Vote. And then you can get a free prepackaged meal because they want to keep you safe. And also you can register to vote. This is going on at the Research Triangle Foundation headquarters on Davis Drive. Okay, so again, you can pick up a free prepackaged meal, enjoy music provided by a DJ. They didn't give his name or her name, but there's going to be a live DJ there. You can register to vote if you haven't done so already. So be sure to have some ID. Let's see. They will be practicing, of course, social distancing. They want you to wear your mask, etc., etc. So you need to let them know when you're coming. So the link is there for you to click. So there's you can go between 10 and noon and 2, or between 2 and 5. So be sure to let them know when you're going, register and let them know when you will be arriving. Also happening today, thank you, Marcella, for telling me about this, but ICNA Relief, JIAR Youth Girls, and 𝗕𝗓𝗟𝗓, they are co-sponsoring a drive-through backpack and school supply pickup. And that is at the masjid at 𝗕𝗓𝗟𝗓, and that is right across from Chicken Hut on Fayetteville Street. Again, it is the drive-through backpack and school supply pickup. This is wonderful. This is for the kids. And if you are picking up supplies for your kid must be with you. They just don't want people just grabbing. Oh, Keith Hersey is here from the pharmacy. Okay, so let me finish with these announcements real quick, and let us welcome Mr. Hersey. So let me just finish this real quick. So this is going to be today from 3 until 5. Very important that you must have your child or children with you. They don't allow adults just to come just pick up supplies willy-nilly. All righty. Also, Moms Rising, they're celebrating Black Breastfeeding Week. The culmination is today at 3. This is an online event, and they are invited parents to bring their babies of all ages and lift them up at 3 o'clock as a showing of revive, restore, and reclaim their potential, their liberation, and their value in the world. So that's really wonderful. You can sign up. Just go to the Let's Go page and sign up for that and attend this free online event. Let me tell you who the partners are, because I want to give everybody credit. So Moms Rising, Medela, I hope I said that right, Lansino, Boppy, Even Flow Feeding, Ergo Baby, and the Lactation Education Resource. All right. Also happening tonight, Marvis Fun. She is hosting Dream Bingo. That is an online bingo. It's not just one game, it's a bunch of games. So that should be really, really fun, starting at 6 o'clock. So you can choose, I don't know much about bingo, but apparently there's different ways of playing, and you can choose straight bingo or whatever kind of bingo. So anyway, just register and find out. So again, this is to help the community. So they're raising money, which means you do pay to play. And I think it's $5 for like 2 games. I'm not really sure, but they're raising money for their nonprofit arm, which helps the community. So I have a link there for you to click on, and then you can ask Marvis for information and also join the fun tonight at 6. Now, I'm just going to mention this. They're sold out. I'm just going to mention it. The Durham Parks and Recreation, they have a drive-in movie series. They're already sold out. But this is going to be a once-a-month thing, and it's going to be at the stadium. What do you call it? The Durham County Stadium. So they're going to do this again next month, and I will let you know. I think the name of the movie is Hitch, and the tickets will be on sale. Well, it's free, but they still want you to have a ticket. But the tickets will be on sale in a couple of weeks. I'll let you know about that. Last but not least, New Visions of Africa restaurant. They've been doing this wonderful grocery giveaway on Sundays. So again, tomorrow they will be doing that. Kasib told me that they moved the time back to 11:30 because with the hot weather, I didn't realize this, but they had moved the time back to 11:30 a couple weeks ago. So, I stopped by there yesterday to say hi. So be sure to be there by 11 to sign up. You have to wear a mask because you will be in really tight with people in line, and also choosing the groceries that you will put in the bag. And again, that will be tomorrow at 11:30, and it's not going to rain. Speaking of rain, let's go through the weather report. It's really weird because when I first set up the show at 8 a half hour ago, it was 81 degrees, and somehow it's only 77. I guess the temperature's dropping. I don't know. But it is raining right now. We're supposed to have thunderstorms. It's going up to 84. And then later it'll be partly sunny. Then tomorrow it's going to be 87 and sunny. So tomorrow's going to be like perfect. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see what's going on with our guest, Mr. 𝗕𝗧𝗬. Let's bring him on and see what's happening. We caught him off guard. Are you there, 𝗕𝗧𝗬? I guess you got tired of waiting. Well, let me just tell you real quick. Hershey Pharmacy, it's new. It's, where is it? Where is it? Oh, shoot. Hope Valley Road. Oh, I think he's on the phone. Let me tell you real quick, though, that they give away 30-day supplies of vitamins. They have vitamins for kids, for adults, and for people in my category, the senior category as well. So I think he's taking care of business. So obviously, Hershey Pharmacy is open right now, probably only until like noon or 1. So, when people call, you have to take care of business. So this is hilarious. So let me check the weather for the rest of the week. This is funny. So, like I said, tomorrow, 87 and sunny. Thunderstorms Monday. It's only going to be 82. That actually sounds pretty good. I don't like the idea of thunderstorm, but what the heck. Tuesday is going to be 87, partly sunny. Wednesday, back up to the 90s. It's going to be 91, 3 days in a row, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday is going to be partly sunny. And then Thursday and Friday is going to be sunny. There you are.
Oh, yeah.
Good Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Doing good.
I guess
Doing
you had to,
good.
I guess you had to take care of business real
Oh
quick.
yeah. But yes, I'm doing well. That's can be expected at this time. So
Oh yeah. Oh, let me answer Guy Cook's question. He's wondering where I got the weather from. It's from God, but no, actually, I use I actually use two apps. I use the typical weather app and then the AccuWeather app. I don't know if you can see it right there in the middle. So it's pretty much up to date. And what I like about the AccuWeather app is that it tells you when it's going to start raining. It
yeah.
says like it's going to start raining in 7 minutes. And I'm like, and it's kind of accurate. So anyway, so what's going on with the pharmacy? Tell us. I'm pretending like everybody knows uh, everything about you. Why don't
Okay.
you? For those of us who haven't seen you before, I know you visited us a couple of times, but
Okay.
tell us who you are and where the pharmacy is.
Hi. Yes. My name is Dr. 𝗕𝗧𝗬. Uh, I'm the owner and operator of Hersey Pharmacy. We're in the
Mhm.
Woodcroft Shopping Center in Durham. We just opened in January of this year, so we're relatively new, and we gladly accept all patients, anyone that's interested in transferring. We can either we can take care of that for you. You just have to
Mhm.
contact us and let us know where your pharmacy is, and we can take care of the rest from that.
So
So
obviously you're open on Saturday. Do you have to get that or?
no, that's not.
Okay. So obviously you're open on Saturday. So are you open
Mm.
until noon or one?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
One.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
So.
it's interesting that here in Durham, um, I'm from Chicago, so
Hmm.
I guess there's a lot of people to choose from in terms of clientele and customers, et cetera, et cetera. But I notice here in Durham, most businesses, not most, a lot of businesses that are open um, on Fridays are only open half a day. I think it's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But you got
Yeah.
to have time for your family too,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's actually cool.
Yeah. So yeah. So since I'm the sole pharmacist here, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have
Oh, let me ask you real
the
quick.
half a day.
Let me ask you real quick. Are you a native Southerner?
Uh, no. I was born in New York, but I've been
Oh,
in North Carolina since I was 11. So I've
okay.
been.
The reason I asked that was because I went to college in rural Alabama,
Hmm.
and again, going from the south side of Chicago to rural Alabama was pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
But what really amused me was that on Wednesdays the stores closed. On
Oh
Wednesday
okay.
afternoons, and I was like, "Why are the stores closed on Wednesdays?" But apparently, in the Deep South, it was explained to me that everybody is expected to go to Bible study.
Oh okay.
And they
Yeah.
have these aggressive signs, like close for Bible study. And then they have, it almost sounds threatening, see you on Sundays. I'm like, whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
very aggressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I don't see that down here. I don't think, usually in the Deep South, it's the medical businesses that are closed on Wednesdays. I think it's
Oh, okay.
typical um, tradition or whatever for the doctor's offices, dentists, and pharmacies to all be closed on Wednesday. And I think I remember hearing as a little kid that a long time ago, doctors used to play golf on Wednesdays.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Usually because usually the doctors and some of the uh big business people, a lot of deals are made on the golf course.
I wonder if that's still true for some
Oh
people.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
might
Yeah. Probably.
for people who
Yeah.
are way, 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 way up there. So I know you did not see COVID-19 coming when you opened up in
No. No.
January.
No. Oh no.
So give us some tips on how to run a business during COVID-19. Obviously, you've done it or you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give us some tips.
Well, think basically is that uh, we've had to so far adjust and make more of social media than probably what we had anticipated starting out because uh, with COVID, people not not going out or not being able to venture out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so even if you did any outside advertising, a lot of people wouldn't see it because people are not going out. So you kind of have to go where the people are, where people are on, on their devices and trying to
Excellent.
reach out that way.
Mhm.
And then also being able to, that we're fortunate that we're able to offer like home delivery, and that's helped some of our
Nice.
patients out so they don't have to travel.
Mhm.
And in fact, the part of the reason why I came on is that just to um, make people aware that we do have flu shots in, and we're going to start
Ooh,
administering them on uh, Tuesday the 1st.
let me write that down. Okay.
So anytime after Tuesday, we will start administering flu shots.
Okay.
And
How does that work? Is it free or do you need insurance or what?
if major insurance plans cover the flu shot,
Okay.
and then also Medicaid and Medicare also covers the flu shot as well. So if you have any of those plans, most likely it will be zero copay. Usually, most like I said, most major insurances, Medicaid and Medicare, do
Okay.
cover it with zero copay.
Okay.
Uh, we do have for people that don't have insurance, we do have like a cash option. I think it's going to be like it's still like 34.99
Okay.
for a flu shot without insurance.
Okay.
Or some people don't want to use their insurance, or they use pay for it and pay for it with their flex cards. But if you're not using insurance, you can we, it will be like 34.99 for this season.
Okay. Now, Guy is asking if he has to wait a year because he got a flu shot in November, and he's wondering if he gets one now. Is it too early?
Oh, no, no, it's not. It's not too early, and in fact, every year they have to make up a new batch for the upcoming season. So the uh, the vaccine manufacturers do is that they look with the epidemiologists and they try to figure out what they anticipate that's going to be the most likely strains
Mm-hmm.
that are going to be out in the community, and they make the vaccine uh, to treat those particular strains. So that's why it takes it takes a while for them to do that. So each year is different than the previous year. So the ones that come out now are different than the one that he took last fall. So
So
um,
that does that mean that through the season it can change? Like you're anticipating,
yeah,
but what if it turns out a different
yeah,
strain emerges?
and that happens some years. Some years that's why some years it works better than other years because
Mm-hmm.
they're still taking. I mean, they're taking an educated guess as far as In some years they get it mainly right, and it's very effective. And in other years, a new strain comes up that they didn't anticipate and doesn't work as well. But I would still say like to get the flu shot because even if they don't get all the strains or particular strains out there. Even the studies show that even if you have a flu shot, even if it doesn't cover that strain, usually even if you're infected, the infection is not as severe than if you didn't have a flu shot.
Okay, so if a
So
real dangerous strain emerges and really wreaks havoc,
yeah.
can you and you took it like early in the season before they
Uh-huh.
realized that strain was going to
Uh,
be the strain of the year? I guess it would be weird to get another flu shot, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they have to ramp up, production to have enough for flu season. So really,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they decide this is the formulation they make. That's it for that season. And if it doesn't cover it, then I mean, there's not they can't go in and change it and ramp it up because it takes so much to be able to ramp up that the mass amount of production and being able to distribute it is so basically like now they're working on for next year,
Wow.
with the flu shots because it's such a big undertaking to be able to because I'm not sure the exact amount, but this is millions of flu shots that's given every year,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to do something on that scale, um, it's a big production. So it
I'm
usually
sure.
so usually they're working like I said they're working now for the one next year. So
Mm-hmm.
usually when they put it out they put it out for like this one is for the 2020 2021. So it's the cover from October of this year through April of next year, pretty
Okay.
much.
Now, here's something really good from Guy. Thank you so much, Guy, for asking these wonderful questions. So he's saying that he read the other day that flu shots are being pushed to prevent a duodemic, that's a new word for me, of corona and flu, because I can't
Yeah,
imagine you could handle
yeah.
both at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's part of the reason why I want to get on too is to well, it's always like like a good idea to get the flu shot, but this year with COVID is even more because just like what Guy said, one of the things that public fel- public health officials are fearing is that having the normal flu on top of COVID, and that people are not protecting themselves from the flu, and then they're already weakened by the flu, and then
Mm,
COVID comes along and can
mm.
add something
Yeah, that can
worse.
wipe
So
you. That can wipe
yeah,
you right out.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm just curious, since we're talking about flu shots. So when a child, this is something I always wanted to ask. So when a child is vaccinated, is it the um, smaller dose or less strength? How is it?
Um,
How is it sized for smaller bodies?
Now there's a smaller dose for children that are it's a smaller dose for children that are like under 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a pediatric dose, but children that are above 2 um, get basically the same dose all the way
Really?
from 2 to yeah, yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Now there may be like a smaller volume for like
Mm-hmm.
under 5 or so, but they're getting the same as adults. And then there's one for patients that are over 65. That's a higher dose. It's a high dose flu shot
Mm-hmm.
that's recommended, especially if you have underlying health conditions like cancer or anything that will compromise your immune system, or diabetes or something like that that may make you more vulnerable. So that's
Mm-hmm.
like people that are over 65. Um, I would recommend wherever you get your flu shot to try to get
Okay.
the high dose flu shot. And but if a lot of years that the high dose usually that runs out, especially in which I'm anticipating this year, it probably will because there are probably more people getting flu shots hopefully this year.
Mm-hmm.
But if that becomes not available, then just get the regular flu shot because that still would give you like good protection. But long as the high dose is available, I would do that first if I was over 65, and especially if I had underlying health conditions and
Mm-hmm.
the insurance covers it. And now the high dose, some insurances may not cover the high dose; they'll cover the regular, but not the high dose.
Oh.
But your doctor or your pharmacist can determine, make sure which one that they cover. But most plans do, but there's some plans that don't cover the high dose one for over 65.
Okay. So I'm curious about the Woodcroft Shopping Center where you're located. Which stores are closest to
Uh,
you?
Okay, I'm right between where the Subway restaurant and Chubby's Taco. I'm right
Okay.
between both of them.
Okay. because I'm wondering if it's bustling at the shopping center, because Woodcroft is kind of west for me, so I rarely go that far.
Yeah.
Although I will come to visit you all.
Okay. Yeah, it's well, it's picking back up. Well, when the COVID happened, a lot of the most of the restaurants, they had to go just to carry out, and so a lot of the a lot of the foot traffic, now that people can eat in the restaurants again, socially distanced, there's more foot traffic. And I don't consider, like, it's not like South Point Mall. It's not as,
I don't know. South Point might not be bustling either.
but it's it has traffic, but it's never really been like where I felt like it was hard to get in and out of.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm not getting my malls confused. So Woodcroft, is that the one they have like a really big hardware store? I can't think of the name.
The Ace Hardware. Yeah, Ace Hardware stores in there.
And then on the other end, there's a Rose, right? Isn't there a Rose over there somewhere?
Oh no, it's
that's a different.
Yeah, that's a different one.
Oh, I know what I'm talking about with Rose. That's further south. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But I know where that I know where you are now, because I've been to that hardware store.
Yeah, so it's the Ace Hardware store on one side. It's a Food Line, and then Joe Van Gogh coffee shop.
Oh, they're over there. Okay.
Yeah, they're over here too. They're like 2 doors down.
Okay, cool. Well, what are your hours? And when people want to come in and get the flu shot, I suppose they make an appointment, right?
Yeah. So this year, because of COVID, and we want to make sure that we're have all our safety protocols in place, so we're really recommending to call us at 919-346-4008 to schedule an appointment if you want to come into the pharmacy and have the flu shot. And then another thing that we're offering as well is that we know that some patients, especially seniors, may not want to go out, and we will come to you and do the flu shot. Only thing that we have is that we have, as long as we're going to be wearing PPE, and we just require the patient to have a mask on when we do that as well. So we're trying to provide an alternative for people that want to get the flu shot, but
that's nice.
They don't want to go out, or they may not, want to. And then there's an alternative in trying to go into like doctor's office as well. So, you don't have to worry about going out or going into a doctor's office getting a flu shot. So so we'll do like house call flu shots this year. Yeah. So
guys, he's in the Pacific Northwest, but I think you're blowing him away. Maybe they don't do that out where he is. But yeah, when I was a kid, doctors made house calls way back in the day when I was a little kid. Yeah. So I guess house calls is something that's probably a phrase that kids are not even familiar with.
Oh yeah.
House call? What's that?
Yeah. I know there's one medical group that do house calls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I think they're like doctors making house calls. I think that's the name.
Oh yeah, I've heard that mentioned on NPR.
Yeah, there's some people that still do that. So and like I said, we're just our main thing is trying to make sure that get vaccinated. So whether you come to us or we come to you, we just want to make sure that you get the vaccine this year, especially in this era of COVID. I mean, because we don't want to, like I said, the thing that people are afraid of is that people don't get vaccinated and they may get the flu, and that weakens their immune system already, and then COVID is out there on top of it, and then that can cause.
I usually don't get a flu shot, but I'm thinking about it for this year. So it's for you. It's Monday through Friday 9 to 5, or
at 5:30? Yes, Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays 9 to 1.
Okay, excellent. I appreciate you dropping by and dropping that knowledge. I have one more question about vaccinations. I haven't heard anything this year about the children the students getting vaccinations, and I'm assuming it's because everybody's doing the remote learning. But eventually, they're going to go back to school. Well, not the high school students here in Durham. They're going to stay home, from what I understand, all year round. So, is there going to be a rush for getting vaccinations soon?
Well, I imagine so. I know they delayed the requirement that the kids have certain vaccinations. I'm not sure the exact date, but I know they pushed back because usually the deadline is usually around September, within the first few weeks of school. And I know they've pushed that back. But now, as a matter of fact, the CDC has strongly recommended that people be able to get make sure that their children are caught up with the vaccinations.
It's super important now.
Yeah. And there are some vaccinations that we can do, like in a pharmacy. The child will have to be right now, like mainly it will have to be like high school, like 14 or over. We can do like some of the meningitis and those vaccinations we can do. So
this might be a dumb question, but okay. So if you have a high school child, and you know they're going to stay home at least during the day in terms of the school day, they're going to be at home. So do they need to be vaccinated? They're going to be home. So
yeah. Well, I think they still, because what with any vaccination, you're trying to develop like a herd immunity. So I think they still would like, as many people to get vaccinated, regardless of their situation as far as school and home, just to protect the community in general. So
that makes sense. I mean, you're not going to keep a high school student in the living room and kitchen 24 hours a day.
Yeah. They're still going to go out into the greater community. So
that's true. That makes sense. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I've been saying Mr. I didn't realize it was Dr. 𝗕𝗧𝗬.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, Dr. 𝗕𝗧𝗬, for dropping by. Absolutely.
Thank
and I'm gonna come drop by and see your shop because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. So well, come by.
I will.
All right. Thank you so much for letting me know.
Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you.
It was so fun. I love when people drop by. So I'm inviting everybody watching to drop by. Not right now if you don't want to, but I do this every day except Sunday. So I do this on weekdays at noon and then on Saturdays at 10. And that's, of course, Eastern time. And basically, my show lasts as long as it needs to. When I don't have a guest, my show might only be 10 minutes. And we've talked for, I think my longest show was like an hour and 15 minutes or so. Sometimes we do get carried away. It is fun. So if you're scared of being in front of the camera, just know that it's actually fun. And I totally enjoy this. And thank you, Guy. Guy has come on a couple of times, and he's always fun. And it's always fun to hear from people who live in a different part of the country because the USA is so huge. I have never been to the Pacific Northwest. I've been dying to check it out. Now, Guy, I know you're not in Northern California, but I saw on Facebook, I hope it's not true, that because of the fires, those gigantic trees that we've all heard about where you can drive through the tree, it's so gigantic, they've put roads through them, that they've been all destroyed by fire. I hope that's not true because I always wanted to check that out. So, Guy has something to share. Well, if you want to come on. Just click on the link. I think I posted it. There you are. There is the link. In case you can't scroll up. If you'd like to jump on, that would be awesome. Let's see if Guy is able to do that. Let's see, Guy. I think he's up there in Washington State, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if he's able to join. And let me just promote the Durham Skywriter again. It is, in fact, let me do this for. Oh, there's Guy. Never mind. Boom, Guy. What's new?
Well, we've got we got to tell you a story.
Okay.
Okay. The other day, we went down to Weston, Oregon. There's a fantastic restaurant there. We saw this big sign that said lobster tails for $2. And I went, $2? Because not like at Safeway, they're $5, right?
Okay.
So I said, wow, I got to get that. That's too good to pass up. So I pulled off and give the guy $2. And he leaned down in the car window and he said, okay, once upon a time.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's
that's
a joke.
terrible. That is the worst.
But
that's good. That's a good
now
one.
I got it closest. I'm hearing twice. Just a minute. There.
Oh,
now
there
I'm just hearing once.
Yeah, maybe the sound was too high.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I had the Facebook open and now I'm in the, what is it? Now I'm
StreamYard.
StreamYard hangout room, whatever. Thank you for that guest. That was so good because we were just talking about should we get our flu shots, and I said, "Oh no, they told me you wait a year," and so I was going to wait till November, but I'm going to go Monday and get one now. Now that Dr. Hershey has told us what's going on.
Yeah, usually I don't get a flu shot, but I think I will this year. Yeah.
I'm going to be 69 on the 18th of September, and I don't think I get to make those choices like I used to make when I was a kid. Now I'm going
to be 65 my next birthday in December. So
yeah, I knew you were a kid.
Yeah. We have to be careful, don't we? We have to be careful.
The other thing that came across the desk this morning, this is a true story.
Okay.
They have a thing called Fox Business. It's like Fox News, but it's the business side of things. So it's not any political stuff, which I kind of avoid like the plague. There's a Japanese company that has built an electric vertical takeoff flying car.
Cool.
They tested it and it hovered, like just stayed still for 4 minutes.
Yeah, I want one of those.
And
Dr. Hersey, real quick, if you wanted to come back on, do this, and I'll bring you back on. Because I see him sitting there with the headphones. Go ahead.
Yeah, I also want to enter the contest as the largest headphones because I think I've even surpassed Dr. Hershey's headphone size. Anyway, so the flying car caught my eye because in 1962, the Wayback Machine, there was a World's Fair in Seattle.
Okay.
So, of course, we went. And in the Science Pavilion, they had their conception of a turbine-powered flying car. My dad made me stand back up because I was down looking underneath trying to figure out how this thing was going up and down. Well, they had it on a steel rod was making this thing move.
Okay.
But I've always remembered that. And I said, if I live long enough, I'm getting a flying car. I mean, even if it's just to go to the store and come home. So the guy that had the flying car test for 4 minutes said, these are going to work. They're going to sell if we can get the price down below $1 million a piece, right? Because right now it's the prototypes that cost so much.
Of course.
And they never crash. People will buy them. And if they can depend on them to be, they won't run out of gas or run out of electricity. Like if you want to go to Aunt Maud's house and it's so many miles away and there's a charging station on the other end so you can charge your flying car so you're not doing one of these jobs. So anyway, it was interesting.
That's cool. We can be like the Jetsons.
Yeah, well,
George Jetson
with Elroy,
Jane, his wife.
I remember. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be hip. But how would they determine the safe height?
Oh yeah. That's like drones right now. If you go buy one of those little drones, my son's got one that's just Batman cool. He puts his smartphone into this controller gadget that makes it take off. We sat in the backyard and he flew it clear to the other end of the mobile home area. Well, it's manufactured homes to be politically correct. Oh gosh, at least half a mile away, and he was still able to control it. And
Wait,
and the
he
camera,
had he had that much trust that he put his smartphone in there?
yeah. He
Hmm.
No, he put his smartphone in the controller that he's holding in his hand.
Oh, the controller. Okay,
and
but
the, and
still.
the drone has its own little camera, which
Oh,
beams
okay,
back
okay.
to the phone, and then you can see on your phone
Mm-hmm.
where you're looking at and so forth, and you can record it. You
That's
can
amazing.
and
Yeah.
then upload it as a video, just like you would any other video record. It was pretty neat.
Those look like so much fun. But this
So
idea of the electric car, so where'd you
yeah,
see that? You saw it where?
Fox Business News. I can get you the
Okay.
link. Just a second.
Okay.
Can I do it in the chat? I think I can.
I think you can and then I can copy it and put it in the
Okay.
proper chat.
We're gonna throw that in the pond and see if it floats.
Okay.
Run it
put
up the pole and make it wave.
Okay, so
Add it
there.
to the toilet bowl cleaner and see if it'll vanish.
Oh my God. Let me get my little trackpad here.
Okay.
And
So
see
there
if
it is. I can see the link in chat over to the side.
Okay,
that
so
side.
I'm copying it, and then I'm going to the comments, and there it is. So if you want to read about the Japanese flying car successful test flight, click on that.
Okay, now to make this more valid, okay,
Mhm.
they've been working on this project since 2012. Okay. They've gotten contributions from Toyota, from Panasonic. This recent test resulted in them getting 37, are you sitting down? 37 million more dollars to further pursue this. And even the Bank of Japan, some big financial thing, they even kicked in some bucks. So
Man.
I hope I live long enough to see it happen.
Oh, you will.
I'm sure that my grandchildren will, say, well, let's see, do I want a blue one or a red one? It's going to be.
They're going to say, oh, Grandpa was talking about that.
Yeah. He was talking to Pat about that in the Durham Skywriter years ago.
In 2020.
Speaking of descendants, this is something I've worked on. My mother, God bless her, she has been taking pictures since 1950. That's the oldest picture I've got.
Okay.
So through doing some due diligence, I found out how I could scan negatives with my smartphone and convert the negative, just like you would take it to a film processor and get a print, right? I can take a picture with photo negative scanner app from my smartphone and get a positive. I've got an image of me from 1957 where I'm sitting on the bank of the creek, okay? And it's black and white because it's so old. Okay. Remember when Kelvin Fagan was my co-host on the podcast?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, he's a photographer, as you know. He took that black and white image and colorized it somehow.
Nice. I bet
Some
that's
magic
nice.
that he can do, and sent it to me. I put it on Facebook. It was a wow this morning. There's a group on Facebook named something really cool that happened today, which is a good way to put wind in one's sails. Like I learned about flu shots today that don't wait till the cows come home. Go get one.
Exactly.
Especially that he said, not to blow the horn too much, but Dr. Hershey mentioned that the one they give to older people, they run out of. So I keep seeing these signs, free flu shots, and I'm going to ask the pharmacist, is this the high dose level? Probably not. This is the regular one, like you give everybody.
I didn't know that there existed high dose.
I didn't know there was flavors either. I didn't know that if you were over 2 years old, if you're 3, you get the adult dose. I didn't know that either. I was like you were. When you said, a 10-year-old kid, you're not going to give a 10-year-old the full dose. That's what I would have done. I'm not a doctor, so.
I guess this is how it works. But yeah.
And one more thing I'll share with you. This is some bad news, but it turned out great. Okay, I was installing the new version of LibreOffice. And at the same time I was doing that, because I multitask, I was signing some paperwork electronically for another deal. Anyway, as a result of the LibreOffice upgrade, he said, "Oh, you need to restart your computer." I said, "Okay, I've done that millions of times."
Sure.
And at least thousands. Millions might be a stretch. Anyway, I restart the computer, and instead of the screen like we're looking at now,
Yeah.
my monitor is vertical orange lines with little white lines in between each column.
Oh my God.
And I'm going, oh, yeah. I was saying all kinds of bad words. Like, I've got all those picture images on here. I've got backups of files. And so that was bad news, right?
Yeah.
Well, years ago, I bought a Chromebook. And I just did a podcast episode that's coming out soon about the Google update policy. Figure a Chromebook is going to last for 6.5 years, and then they're going to quit doing updates. So I went and Googled it, and he said, what do I do? There's a guy on YouTube that made a video on how you upgrade those old Chromebooks with Gallium OS. It's a Linux distribution that's built just for Chromebooks.
Okay.
And they know what the hardware is. They have you look up what kind of build you have and whatever chipset you got and so forth, so you can get that. So anyway, I got that installed, and so I had that for a backup. When this computer that I'm on right now was all orange screen, I trying to do the restore point, all the things that I knew wouldn't happen. So I looked it up, and Gallium OS, started up the browser, went to Google, said, what's up with this orange screen I got? Oh, you've got the orange screen of death. Well, what you do is this and this and this. And so I tried doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't going. It wasn't working. So I'm the grandfather of a new baby girl. Her name's Ella.
Congratulations.
I think she got named after the digital movie, whatever. So anyway, my oldest son called, and Ella's on the phone. So I had to stop what I was doing here, and I'm looking at the little dancing ants going in a circle that Windows doing while they're trying to think what's going on. So I left it running, like I oftentimes do, and went in there to see the granddaughter. And that was several minutes, and she's almost standing up now. It's pretty good stuff. And I come back, my screen's normal.
Oh.
On the screen, it said, Windows noticed that you were having trouble rebooting, so we've deleted all of that stuff, restored the system back. Is that okay? I said, heck, I won't quote what I said because DurhamSkywriter.com doesn't use that kind of language. But anyway, that was like, you'd think it's a science fiction movie when the computer fixes itself.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. That's maybe it's new to the new build of Windows that it does that. They keep talking about you're going to have artificial intelligence someday. Well, maybe that's the cousin of that. That's come to pass. But anyway,
I have suffered that blue screen of death.
Yeah, and that one you
can nothing more. Your heart just
push F8 or F10 or something like that, and you get into the restore system, and then you just go back to the restore point that you created 6 months ago or whatever. Okay. You're doing that. Your eyes are kind of like, I haven't made it yet. Make a restore point. If you don't know what that is.
I don't. In fact, I'm going to write it down.
Yeah. Put that on the Pat's to-do list. Create a restore. You should do a restore point.
Actually,
anytime, like let's say LibreOffice. Okay, you've got an update for LibreOffice. The new version coming around the corner is 7. Well, right before you install that and change your system some way from what you know is working to a gamble that's down the road that maybe it's going to work, maybe not. Create a restore point. It's like putting a spare tire in the trunk of your car.
I think with Macs, there's something called a time something where they
probably have a different name for it.
You can restore it up. There's a certain time period that you can.
It backs up everything on the system, and that backup file is kept on your hard drive. and you got to go, oh, I want to go back to, let's see, what's today? August 30th. I want to get that one. Or no,
Yeah.
today's the 29th. I'm sorry.
I think
I
you
wanna
can do
get-
that. It's
I
called
want to get
time.
the yeah. Google it. They'll have the answer.
Let me
on
see if
how
I
you
can
can-
find it. Let's see.
No, the thing that I do, Pat, is go look at YouTube, right? How do I restore my Mac? And there'll be
Oh.
eight different guys. They'll say, well, this is what you do. And bazinga, there you have it.
Okay, I will definitely look into that because my laptop where I'm on right now is old.
Yeah.
It's old, and you're not going to believe how I got it. I'm trying to find the time
Okay.
thing.
Try me. Go
But-
ahead.
So I was at the lowest part of my life a few years ago. My aunt had died, and of
Were you
course,
still in South Chicago, or were you
no.
moved to Durham?
Here in Durham. I
Okay.
moved here to take care of my aunt. She had died.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
means I fell into immediate poverty because we were sharing and living off of her pension, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I was trying my best to keep the house going, trying to pay the bills. I just wasn't making enough money. The lights were off certain times. They were turning off the water. I was just doing the best I could. During this particular time, the only way I could make money was with my computer, with the little newspaper, my DJing, pictures, that kind of stuff. And I got the blue screen of death. And I just kept trying to, I knew to restart it with the safety thing, and it just wasn't working. So I took it to, I can't even, I don't know if my car was working then or not. But anyway, so I was going to the Apple store, and they tried to fix it. And I just broke down in tears. I think I went there 3 times, and I told them this is the only way I can make money. And
that's gone. Oh,
yeah,
no.
and so I didn't like fall into a heap or anything, but I was just tearful. I was just beside myself. I didn't have money for them to fix it. They gave me a computer. The computer that I'm on right now, they gave it to me. They gave me a computer, and threw in a disc player, DVD.
Yeah,
or
external DVD drive.
Yeah, they gave it to me. Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
good.
Yeah.
I'd go back to that store again before they run out of gas.
Yeah, actually, when I bought my iPad, I made sure that I bought it
Yeah.
in person from them.
Speaking of iPads,
I'm doing much better now, by the way. Thank you.
the COVID pandemic in Washington State, if someone's in a senior center, you can't go in. You can't go visit them.
It's
So
the
I
same
haven't
way
se-
here.
Yeah, I haven't seen my mom for months. But I've seen her by virtue of they have an iPad.
Mhm.
And I have a software called whereby.com. This kind of like this. You can do live real-time streaming with the camera and hear voice. Well, when we got that hooked up the first time, Mom says, "You mean I can just look at this screen and I can see him?" Yeah, you can hear him too.
Oh my God, how cute.
Well, I'm in there with his headphones because you got to wear headphones so you don't have feedback. Well, the one time the lady couldn't find the iPad. Somebody didn't put it back in the media room, so she tried using her phone. The echo was tremendous.
Oh,
It
no.
was like totally disruptive. And so we were blaming my niece Bethany in Spokane for her causing the echo. Well, it wasn't her, it was the phone that Mom was using. But anyway, that's how I've seen my mother a couple times. is with
That's
the
heartbreaking. I've heard of people driving by retirement homes and waving.
iPad. Well, now
from the street.
they've got it set up now that say you don't have the technology, you don't have a computer, you're not guy cook. You can go to the window and they will take the person out of their room and bring them down to the window, still inside the facility, and you can wave and talk to them on your smartphone.
That's still
I don't
sad.
think that's as good as doing the virtual visit. Because the virtual visit, I can share pictures to her.
Okay.
Because I don't know if StreamYard. Yeah, it does share screen.
Oh, yeah.
So I can click on share screen and say, okay, there's a picture of me, Mom, in 1957. And so Mom's got the beginnings of Alzheimer's. And they say that's, your memory's not that good. And it's not.
Yeah.
She still knows who I am. So we're sitting there talking, and in the process of scanning these pictures, she labeled a lot of them, but they're names that I didn't know. Like one time they had lunch with 𝗕𝗨𝗟 and Forrest up there at the lake.
Okay.
And so I asked my sister-in-law, I said, do you know who 𝗕𝗨𝗟 is? Is that cousin? I don't know. No, don't know. So we kind of forgot about it. And then the day that we're talking to Mom and the virtual streaming on the iPad, my sister-in-law, just out of the blue, says, oh, well, let me ask you something. Who's 𝗕𝗨𝗟? And Mom sat there for a minute. You know, you could see the wheels were turning. She goes, oh, that's my old classmate from high school. She graduated in 1950.
Whoa.
So
nice.
she gave us the name, said, oh, yeah, we had lunch with her and Forrest. I said, is that Forrest Miller? Yeah.
Nice.
Too crazy.
Have her to solve all of your mysteries now.
Yeah.
While you can, yeah.
The gas in the tank that I'm using for scanning pictures and archiving everything is for the descendants. I'm doing it for what I know, like the little girl granddaughter I mentioned. Maybe she's going to have a niece 60 years from now that knows the technology, how to get into the internet. If I'm assuming it's going to still be around some way.
Yeah.
And she's going to look at those pictures. And she's going to say, oh, that's that Guy Cook fella. I've heard about him. He talked all the time.
Great granddad guy.
Yeah.
Now, I have thousands upon thousands of pictures on my Flickr account. Flickr.com. Flickr.
Yeah.
I forget what it is.
I've heard of Flickr.
Yeah. So I have an account, and I scanned in all my not all, but as many pictures as I could, family pictures, et cetera, et cetera. My goal has been to get a hard drive and to put them all on the hard drive. I just haven't done it yet. But they're all there, right there on Flickr. So I hope if I do meet my demise, that my niece will.
Plan B.
Okay.
Does your Mac have a USB port on it?
Yes.
Then get a USB memory stick.
Ooh.
See that orange lanyard right there?
Yeah.
See that little thumb drive?
Yeah.
That's the backup of the backups. Like I'm putting all the pictures into Google Drive, but at the same time I'm putting them onto that 16 gigabyte, which is a lot of pictures.
Okay. Because I need to do that.
Yeah. That's instead of expensive a hard drive, you can get one of those gadgets for $20.
Okay.
Or so.
I need something.
Just watch for when they're on sale. Go to Amazon. Do you have Amazon?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Of course. That's where I do all my shopping. A lot of it.
Yeah. I just bought cane tips from Amazon.
Oh, how cute.
My niece Cindy says, "Oh, you can get those at Home Depot. They got a whole drawer full of them there." Well, I'm not going to the store. I get stuff shipped, right? Well, the shipping was going to cost $6. And so I'm doing the math in my head. $6.99 for 2 cane tips and $6 for shipping. That's almost $13. Okay.
Oh, brother.
So I go to Amazon because I have Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I'm paying $3.87 for 2 cane tips.
There you go.
And the shipping's free. So you know what I did?
Amazon.
Yeah. It's these days, because you're homebound, it's the great way to go is have stuff shipped. I got a setup. I'm getting my mom an amplified phone because regular cell phone, flip phone that they release from Great Call, she can't hear it because her hearing's go bad. So I got her an amplified phone.
That's nice.
And the gravy on the potatoes is they have a technology now where you can get these little boxes that are about this big that blocks all the spammer phone calls.
How?
You don't get those?
All the time. Are you kidding me?
Let me get you.
And I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, hold on.
What the scam is when they say we've been trying to reach you about your car.
This is your final call for your credit card approval.
Right.
We used to get that one. I'm pulling up my orders from Amazon. Just a moment, Pat. your orders. Bazinga. Log in. There's the cane tips. Delivered Thursday. View your item. And this is made by Panasonic.
Did you know that when you're in Japan, Panasonic is known as national?
It's not called Matsushita?
Well, the company is Matsushita, but on the label it says national. And when they have commercials, they said national.
I went into Amazon. There's the link. Forgive the long link, but that's what they gave me. I said, view your item.
Okay.
So there you have it. And you should see,
let's see,
a little black box with a big red button that says block call.
What?
Did it work?
Yes, it is. Let's see.
Now this one,
I'm gonna check that out.
This one blocks 16,000 calls that they know are numbers that are crap numbers.
Oh my God.
And if you want to add to that database, push the red button. Bazinga, they're blocked. You can create all your cousins in Chicago. You put them on a list of approved calls.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're on the OK list, you never have to block them.
See, here's the problem though. When you're
they'll always be able to call you.
But what about me? Because with me being a journalist, I get calls from strangers all the time. I mean, they're good calls. I mean, I don't know them. So,
well, if they're not on the crap list, you know, the 16,000 member crap list, they'll still get to call you.
Okay.
And if they'll say, hey, Pat, you should buy this new hula hoop I got, you hit the red button. And bazinga.
That is awesome. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Well, now you know what you can say now.
Okay. I will say next.
No, you can say, I know a guy on the internet.
I know a guy on the internet.
That's the joke I always tell people when I give them some piece of technology that they embrace, like you have this call blocker. I say, well, you can now say that you know a guy on the internet.
Thank you for that. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Giving people computers, okay? Here's my story.
Okay.
My youngest son is filthy rich, by no pun intended. I mean, he's the second biggest medical marijuana dealer in the state of Washington because it's legal. He has a CBD store. He's now selling exotic beers. He has beers, can of beer. Can you imagine paying $40 for one can of beer?
I can't imagine why it would be $40.
I don't know.
Unless it's infused with something.
It's not infused. It's just a rare, scarce. They produce this beer, these little tiny breweries. You know, you probably got them in North Carolina. They make 200 barrels of beer a year. Okay. So he's going to go to North Dakota. Oh, I'm getting off the story. Back to the computer. Okay. He's filthy rich and he's going to do beer. Anyway.
Okay.
Last Christmas, he comes up and he says, here's your gift. I opened the box. It's a $1,000 Google Pixel book.
Whoa, sweet.
So the year before, he got me this. This is my Nagamatic. This is called a Fitbit. And
Nagamatic. I like that.
Yeah, it keeps track of every step you make. So if you don't walk around a lot, you sit here scanning pictures all the time. Guess what? You get a phone call. No, it doesn't. It doesn't beep. You get a phone call from somebody that says, you haven't been walking around very much. You don't have anything to do. Why aren't you getting out, move it?
That's kind of creepy.
And so remember that movie years ago? And the guy says, I like to move it. And yeah. So I hear that playing in the background. So
that's not creepy to you?
No. What's creepy is the Nagamatic. At 10 minutes till the hour, it will buzz, vibrate on my wrist. It says, you have 192 steps left this hour to make your quota of 250. for 8 hours a day, right?
Mhm.
It says, well, to make your quota, you've got to do 250 steps an hour. Well, if I mow the lawn or something, I get like 1,300 steps for that. So I kind of forget about the hour thing. Doesn't nag me, why go off? But then once that quota of steps is spent,
Mhm.
I'm then eligible for buzz, buzz, buzz. Hey, you got to make your 250 steps this hour. You've done spent up the 1,300. We're into hour 6 now, and you got to hurry up.
That is wild.
It's probably good for me, that I get up and move around, but it's still kind of a nagamatic.
That's interesting. I'm not sure what to think of that, but it's interesting.
And your job as a journalist, you're at the desk a lot.
I sit all day, but I get up a lot because I was just looking at my stray cat. I do go outside and play with my stray cat. Oh, there he is again. Hi, Spike. Okay. And
does he show up every 10 minutes? No, I'm just kidding.
Almost.
Yeah.
He just hangs around the house. But to tell you the truth, I used to have a nice walking regimen every morning, but when COVID-19 hit, I stopped.
Well, because nobody else is going for walks, I've been risking it. I go and I don't walk the full 1,700 steps route that I've got. I don't go the full 2-mile route that I got. But I go up and walk across the creek up to the end of the road, go down 2 blocks and come back around the block and come back. And that's about, I don't know, 800 or 900 steps, something like that.
Maybe and so I do have a little route that I used to go to Durham Tech.
Yeah.
Go around Durham Tech and then back. I have no idea how far that is or how many steps. Maybe I should figure that out or get one of those Fit Watch things and see how many steps that might help me, because I really loved my morning walks.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good for your whole system, your posture, everything. If you don't sit down all the time.
Not only that, though, Guy, I don't know what it is about walking, but a lot of my best ideas happen.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Maybe it's because my mind is disengaged, but the daydreaming and the working out problems happens while you're walking, so it's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's definitely a good thing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna enter the contest for the longest show you've done, because we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes now, according to
know what, this might be the longest.
Up in the corner, you have a little red thing that says live 1 hour 15. No, it's 16 13. Now. I'm way ahead of it now. And
I think we win.
You can blame me. My wife one time, another story. We're down to Oklahoma for the powwow, because she's a member of the Choctaw tribe, and they have their own capital, Tuscaloosa, and they have a gathering and Labor Day weekend, which is coming up. We're not going, but it's coming up. And so we went down there years ago to the powwow. And we're driving down the road in a rental car, and Darlene and our cousin Norm, who's full-blood Choctaw, are in the back seat. So Darlene says to Norm, very, making conversation, I guess, or whatever. She says, well, what would Guy's Indian name be? Like you have a name for everybody. And so I got to record it. I haven't got it. He muttered something in Choctaw language, And she says, well, what does that mean? And I'm waiting to hear something like running eagle or, flying eagle, something really cool thing. Norm says, without breaking stride, talk a lot.
Guy talk a lot. I love that.
And so I looked up to make the recording. I've Googled it and said, well, is there a Choctaw word for talk a lot? No, I can't find it. So it must be a slang term that's not in the official translation dictionary. Anyway.
Actually, it's been my goal one day to go to Oklahoma, because on their way to the north, my great-grandmother and my grandmother left Talladega, Alabama. They didn't go directly to Gary, Indiana. They stopped at Boley, Oklahoma, which at that time, even now,
that was kind of a side trip.
Well,
Because
actually,
Alabama to Indiana, isn't that kind of like due north, and then Oklahoma's off to the left, isn't it?
well, here's the thing. They were
Yeah.
Boley, Oklahoma. Some of the Indian lands was given to black people, so there were a
Yeah.
lot of all black towns in Oklahoma, and they were telling black people, "Come here, you're safe here," and they flourished and had beautiful, little cities. But I wanted to go to Boley because I wanted to see, where my grandmother and great grandmother lived for
Oh, yeah.
some years.
Yeah.
But also, they have I think it's Memorial Day weekend. They have rodeos still, where everybody who's left comes back for the rodeo.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to experience that.
Well, I live in Walla Walla, Washington, the southeast corner of Washington, and we have one of the top 5 rodeos in the nation is 40
Yes.
miles south of me at Pendleton, Oregon. It's
Okay.
canceled this year because of you know what, but all of the top main big like professional quality rodeo riders and bull riding and saddle broncs and so forth, they go down there to that gig because they get their points or whatever they get for being a top contender.
Yeah.
And so that's just awesome. My mother used to go to the Pendleton Roundup every year. That was like on the to-do list. Like we have a balloon stampede she'd always go to on Mother's Day weekend.
Okay.
It's canceled. The fair is canceled. The Pendleton Roundup is canceled.
Yeah.
But
Next year.
We'll tell stories about this. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm hoping.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to get off of here because Lord knows I'd talk forever.
Always fun to hang out with you, Guy. Always fun.
Get a flu shot.
Yes.
And before too long.
Okay, here's WebMD.
Oh, I said the word computer. Can you hear her?
Yeah, what is that, Alexa? What is that?
Yeah, that's an echo. It's a
Echo.
visual echo. Let me see if I can.
Hilarious. So the trigger word made her do what? Start talking?
If I say the word computer, that's the trigger word. Because I talk about Alexa all the time, so I had to change the word.
Oh.
Computer, stop.
Thank you for using WebMD. Goodbye.
Thank you for using WebMD.
How polite.
Goodbye. Yes.
Hilarious.
Oh, I said flu shot. So that's why WebMD popped up there.
Oh.
I'll have to re-listen.
So
to
they
that.
are listening.
Yes. If you say the trigger word, you get to hear the answer. Like I can go. Okay, watch. Can you hear it real good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Computer, what's the weather today?
Right now in Walla Walla, it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Today's forecast has lots of sun with a high of 85 degrees and a low of 51 degrees.
And they're done. Now they
But
may.
she's still listening.
Well, computer, do you know where you are?
I'm here and my head is in the cloud.
Did you hear that? I'm here in my head in the cloud.
In the cloud. Yeah. Okay.
So
That's wild.
It's handy. It's great for reminding yourself when it's time to turn off the sprinklers out in the yard. Or if you're cooking pasta, you can set a timer for 9 minutes and it will come off.
That's cool.
Well, they've got two skills. One is called timer, and one is called reminder. And if you set the reminder, you have to give it reminder of what? Like remind me to turn off the sprinkler. Remind me to go for a walk. You have to give it a title. Otherwise, it just goes off like an alarm clock.
Okay. And then you'll wonder what's going on. And
remember 6 minutes ago when I said I have to get out of here?
Oh. So I will see you soon, Guy.
Okay, take care.
Okay. So fun. With today being Saturday, I really enjoyed having 2 guests today. So thank you, Guy Cook. Thank you, Dr. Keith Hersey. So fun hanging out with you. So if anybody else wants to jump on, actually, I want to I haven't eaten yet. I'm starving. So I think I'm going to have some spaghetti. I know it's a weird breakfast, but my friend Blanche always says it's best to have protein in the morning because that's a good start to your day. And if your kids want to have protein instead of regular, the empty calories, the cereal and stuff. Be happy. Feed them dinner. Give them good protein so their bodies can go through the day with proper, whatever it's called. So anyway, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you Monday at noon. Ciao for now.